Story 1. Never had any issues with anger. I see a lot of guys who struggle with short tempers, including my father. Drama rolls off me like water on wax, and I am quite proud of that. Edit. Thanks for the gold, stranger. Story 2. I have good spatial awareness, like remembering the routes or directions to a place. I can easily make my own mental Google Maps while I am traveling to a new place. If I park my car in the basement of a big mall and go up to do some shopping for an hour or so, I can easily tell which way my car is facing relative to me. My mind takes note of all the directions I take from a given point, like north, east, west, and south. I am subconsciously taking a mental note of almost everything in the surroundings. I sometimes feel that it is a useless skill or talent. Sometimes I just get a kick out of it. Story 3. Less than 10 years ago, I set out to be a game developer. Now I'm a 30-year-old lead programmer with a great team and my name on 13 released games with millions of copies sold. I basically nailed it, or at least that one part of life. Story 4. That I am 17 days smoke-free after a pack-a-day habit for 25 years. Wow, this has blown up a bit. Thanks for the gold, good people. For those of you thinking of giving up smoking, use every resource at your disposal, and remember you are worth it. The Stop Smoking and Quit Smoking communities are really handy, even if you just lurk. Story 5. I love that I am slowly coming out of my depression that really hit me hard in the fall. Still got a lot of work, but I know I can do it. Thank you all for the kind words and encouragement. Hope you all had or will have a great day at work as I had today. You guys rock, and thanks for the gold to the kind stranger. Story 6. That I proved to myself that I can achieve what I set my mind to by working hard and relentlessly. Career, body, dating. That I built my life from nothing. Story 7. I am always on time, by which I mean at least 5 minutes early. Actually, to be honest, there have been 3 occasions over the last 10 years where I was a couple of minutes late, and they still haunt me from time to time. Do not keep your friends waiting. Story 8. I have gladiator calf muscles. I've always struggled with my weight but skateboarded as a teenager and then took up cycling when I hit 30. My calves are as glorious as my man-tits are shameful. Story 9. My resilience to whatever life throws at me. Recently, I was dumped 2 weeks before Christmas by a woman I thought I would marry. What's more, now that I can view our relationship from the outside in, I realize I spent 3 years with a mentally and occasionally physically abusive ex. I'm trying to find ways to reconcile still being in love and missing someone who obviously didn't value me at all. But the fact that I've made it through and can now recognize that makes me feel a lot stronger than I thought before. If I can get through this, I can get through anything. Story 10. I don't feel and act like I am entitled to anything, so I work for everything that I want. I also acknowledge that I was never gifted in any way, whether physically or intellectually, but I work hard to better myself every day. I was pretty insecure and bitter about it before, but now I have learned to accept myself and love myself for who I am. So now I do what I do for someone I love, helping him get better in any way I can. Story 11. That I can remain outwardly calm in most situations if I choose to be. Nothing really sets me off no matter how abrasive, but also nothing really gets me that excited either. Story 12. Oh man, I didn't even realize how much I needed this. Thank you. I love my extremely specific memory, faulty though it is. I can remember numbers and mental pictures phenomenally. I love my feather tattoos. I've carried 2 friends with me for years, and seeing them in the mirror each morning reminds me that they are not really gone. I love that I'm slowly getting over my ex, and I love the person that I became with and after her. While I miss her, there's no grief or loss anymore. Rather, I've internalized the lessons I learned from dating her, and I continue to grow as a person from it. 2 years ago, I nearly killed myself because of a different relationship, and looking back now, I weep with joy at all that I've become since. I love the friends I've made. They challenge me constantly, but I feel happy and loved with them. I love my relationship with my father. I've lived my entire life afraid of disappointing him. I speak with him now, and I can finally hear in his voice that he's proud of me. He told me that he's proud of the man I've become, and that may be the happiest memory I have. Finally, I love where I am in life. I was lucky and privileged like few are, but I've also worked hard to convert that into progress and to beat my own psyche at times. I came here at 5 years old. My family is middle class, and I'm 24 years old on Friday with no debt, an actual career, and a life full of love and light. Story 13. I actually love much about myself. I'm not a fit guy, but when I think about it, I feel happy. I'm kind of a teddy bear, and women also seem to like it. I also have a great positive mind, and I'm the most social person I know. I can get along with pretty much everyone. Story 14. My drive and positivity. I am determined to be successful. I'm just generally a happier and more positive person than other people. I usually find the silver lining to every cloud. Story 15. I was always bullied for my weight as a kid. One year, in particular, I was called Porky every single day. When I got to middle school, I would eat one small meal a day and do sit-ups and push-ups at my house like crazy. Now, if I'm lazy, I can gain 10 pounds, but once I go to the gym, I drop it in about a week. My muscle memory has also been amazing because of my eating and lifting habits, all because of that kid. So thanks, loser. Story 16. Patience. Everybody tells me I have a lot of patience, and I see myself in it. It helps quite a lot during different types of situations, especially stressful ones. But it's just that I don't actually care about what happens. Story 17. I have a very chill and nonchalant attitude about almost everything in life. I see other people get very agitated at things, and I always wonder why I'm not like that. Nothing else about me stands out, though. Story 18. My tendency towards skepticism. A lot of people believe in false information or simply never question what they are told. The world would be a better place if more people were more skeptical. Story 19. I give the best hugs. Like, I went to a hug workshop and the guy told me, I can't teach you anymore. You're the best hugger I've met in 50 years. Story 20. I beat the most crippling depression and social anxiety that formed from an emotionally abusive and manipulative mother. Not only that, I became outgoing, self-reliant, inquisitive, positive, and the person I look up to most, myself. I accept I don't know everything and relish the thought that I get to learn at every opportunity. I'm proud of this every day, and I carry it inside as a reminder that even the most insurmountable issues I have faced can have a solution. Of course, they may require big compromises in time, but they aren't impossible by any means. Good question. Thanks for allowing me to share. Story 21. Inner peace. Work in progress, but still proud. I used to have a lot of hate toward my abusive dad, my bullying brother, and the unkind people at school. I realized that asking for someone to reciprocate kindness or love may not always work out. And that's okay, because you'll find someone who will love and appreciate you. Asking someone to reciprocate respect is fine, and if you learn how not to care about the opinion of a disrespectful person, you'll be okay. Don't worry about the childish behavior. Just ask for respect. And if they don't give it to you, forget them, they aren't worth your time. Find better people to be around. Story 22. I absolutely love the color of my eyes. Plus, when I get compliments from people I don't know, they're almost always about my eyes. Story 23. My integrity and how reasonable I am. Oh, and I am also proud of how I approach friendships. I don't feel the need to be part of a group, even though I don't have anything in common with the people in it, just because I don't want to be alone or left out. Story 24. I am very dexterous. I started at a gourmet meat market, and it came naturally to me. I loved being as fast, clean, and efficient as possible. I fell in love with card magic and cardistry, and I am absolutely obsessed with playing cards. Card magic also helped me gain my confidence back after I was injured. Not only did I go from $65,000 per year to $16,000, but I lost a potential management position in a large grocery chain. At the very least, if I am able to do that type of work again, I would not have any issues being hired. I am really that good. Thanks for this question. Thanks for letting me be cocky for once. Sometimes a bad day can be turned around if you remember what you are worth. Story 25. I love how I can be perceptive to the majority of people's opinions. However, the indecisiveness runs in me, so forming my own opinions and logical reasoning takes time. Story 26. Two things come to mind. First is that I'm a good listener. If anyone has an issue or wants to tell me something, I always have an ear to spare. Secondly is my internal compass. I'm definitely the navigator in my friend group, both in real life and in video games. Story 27. That I'm trying to make myself a better me. I may not be there, and the process may be back and forth, but I'm doing something every day to make me better. Whether it is to read a few pages of a book, spend an hour learning a new language, studying, or exercising, I'm trying. Story 28. I feel like I have good spatial awareness. Directions are generally never an issue for me, but I am also really good at geometry and identifying when things are geometrically off. I am good at visualizing things I would like to build and how I would build them in my head before drawing them out. My best friend is an engineer who got me into 3D printing. I designed some functional things and even he has been impressed. He keeps telling me I should have been an engineer. I decided I liked kids better and went for a career in special education instead. Story 29. Realizing just now that after years of inferiority complexes and depression, I'm actually at a point where my ego doesn't need much of a boost. Story 30. My capability of holding everything together. I hold down a well-paying job, pay all of the bills, do all the housework, get the kids to their appointments, help them with their homework, and so on. I joke that I'm a single dad because my wife does literally less than nothing all day, every day. Story 31. I'm extremely good at noticing when someone in my workplace is not in the right place. I identify the negative and help them get into a better mental state to succeed in their day. As a result, we run the #1 sales office in our region. It really helps to know what they want to accomplish in life when trying to motivate my team. Story 32. My mantra of, "They are an X for a reason," has steered me away from so much unnecessary drama, and I'm grateful for it. I have great eye color, mostly green with a ring of brown around the iris, but under the right conditions, they can change to look blue. I only have to visit a place once, and I'll be able to get there again from anywhere. I'm literally my own global positioning system, but I have been known to second-guess myself as to which is the best way to get there. Oh, and I have a rather peachy posterior. Quite happy with that. Story 33. Despite my fragmented pieces that make up the whole I hate myself pie chart, I can still construct myself in a presentable and fairly respectable manner. Others saying better things about me than I would ever say about myself must have some value. Story 34. I managed to turn my future completely around. When I was 18, I had only 3 general certificates of secondary education, failed most of my levels, had horrible friends, a horrible temper, horrible self-esteem, and was lonely, depressed, generally a horrible person to be around. Currently, at 23, diagnosed with dyslexia and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I am studying mechanical engineering at university in my 2nd year. I'm averaging 85% grades out of sheer hard work. I know I can't slack, so I work hard because I know what I came from. I just got 98% in my mathematics exam this year. I'm more respectful and considerate to people and their difficulties, whether educational or home life. Most importantly, I'm blessed with the best friends anyone can ask for. Story 35. I'm a really, really good cook. I like cooking for others and love bringing food into my Alcoholics Anonymous group because no matter how much I messed up that week, how hard it was to stay sober, or how dark my future looks, I can usually make someone's day with kolaches or scratch cinnamon rolls. I'm doing meatball subs for a meeting this week. I like the compliments because I know someone is better because I did something for them. That ability to make someone happier because of something I can still do is important to me, especially now. Story 36. I'm losing weight and I feel much better. I was super depressed and unmotivated, and that drastically changed. I dropped from 170 kilograms to 150 kilograms in 2 months. I'm still obese, but I'm working on it. Story 37. The only thing I have going for me is I am a proud father and dedicated dad. I am a single dad looking after several children by myself, and I can't give them all the riches in the world, but I make sure to prioritize them first with my time. It can feel like the weight of the world on my shoulders at times, but the little things like hearing your child giggle make it all worth it. Story 38. I'm very good at getting over things. If I have a fight, argument, or whatever, I can usually get past it without being stuck on it for more than a week. I forgive easily, even if it's a big deal, and I think that's one of my better traits. Story 39. I'm very proud of the progress I made. I used to be extremely socially awkward. I did everything I could think of to fix myself. I changed my voice after listening to it in recordings and not liking it. Everything from the pace, wording, pitch, and tone shifted. I even got rid of a nervous chuckle. I also fixed my posture, known as technique, built up muscle, stared at photos, and replicated the look in the mirror, then fixed it to look more symmetric. That's how I learned that I had a pseudo-lazy eye. I trained it back to strength by closing my good eye for 20 minutes at a time. One eye would appear to be far more open in photographs than the other. This all took years to do until these habits became a part of me or were no longer necessary. My lazy eye is cured. My vision even got a bit better, and with it, my reflexes and athleticism. I feel like the result was gaining a natural sort of magnetism that I've always had. Yes, before I rubbed people the wrong way, but I was never invisible. I learned how to tweak it until it worked for me instead of against me. 2 months ago, I walked into a meetup group I hadn't attended in almost a year. When I walked in, it ended up interrupting the person who was speaking. People got up from across the room to come shake my hand, smiling and clapping me on the shoulder. It was pretty affirming. If you'd told me that that would happen 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it.